In fading late afternoon light, the skies around Gaza roared with rockets, some intercepted by Israel's Iron Dome anti-missile system. This was the response from Gaza's armed groups to an Israeli undercover incursion into the Strip on Sunday night that killed 7 members of Hamas's military wing, among them a senior commander and an Israeli officer. Israeli television was soon broadcasting images of damaged homes and raging fires in towns bordering Gaza. Images like these not seen in years. One of the targets, a bus, which Palestinian media said had just unloaded a group of Israeli soldiers before it was struck by an anti-tank weapon. And almost as soon as the rocket fire began, Israel started striking targets across the Strip. Among them, the headquarters of Hamas's Al-Aqsa television, minutes after a warning call came in telling staff to evacuate. Israel striking targets in the heart of populated areas. For weeks, both sides have been saying they want to avoid all-out war, having approached and stepped back from the brink several times this year.
The Palestinians are not in any way are ready to trade their dignity, their freedom for money and fuel for their power station. Hamas and the resistance groups feel that they are obligated to retaliate against any Israeli violations of the ceasefire.
The spark for this latest outbreak came with Sunday night's Israeli incursion. The Israeli military said it was an operation to safeguard Israel's security and not an assassination attempt, something Hamas publicly accepted, suggesting at one point that an early de-escalation might have been possible, notwithstanding the calls for retaliation that came at its fighters' funerals. It all follows palpable progress in talks involving Israel and Hamas, led by Egypt and also the United Nations. Over the past 2 weeks, more fuel has been allowed into Gaza, increasing people's electricity from 4 hours a day to up to 16, and an injection of cash by Qatar. But a day after the Israeli Prime Minister was in Paris defending his policy of engagement with Hamas, he was back home discussing military plans. Both Israel and Hamas are facing public pressure for strong military action, even though both sides have maintained that they do not want a full escalation. We're around 2 kilometers away from the Gaza border, and we've witnessed airstrikes and rocket fire throughout the night. It is the most serious escalation between the two sides since the 2014 war. And Israel's Security Cabinet will be meeting on Tuesday afternoon to decide what their next steps will be. Stephanie Decker, Al Jazeera, on the Israel-Gaza border.